Testing.
Good evening today. Oh, hang on, sorry. Today is Monday, March 3rd, 2025. We are at the Green Ladle and we'll call the meeting to order at 5:32 p.m. with the Pledge of Allegiance. We will start school committee member introductions with Councilor Harriman.
Scott Harriman, City Council Representative to the School Committee.
Donna Gallant, Ward 7.
Megan Hurd, Ward 6.
Elizabeth Eames, Ward 3.
Janet Bowden, Ward 2.
Phoenix McLaughlin, Ward 1.
Megan Parks at large.
Jake Langley, Superintendent.
Karen Paquette, Assistant Superintendent.
Our Ward 4 rep is absent excused, and our Ward 5 rep will be just a little bit late to the meeting tonight, but we'll be here. Agenda item number 3 is the consent agenda. Are there any items on the consent agenda that members would like set aside? Seeing none, the consent agenda is adopted. Agenda item number 4 is public input. Members of the public may address the school committee for up to 3 minutes on non-agenda items now and on agenda items later. Comments that pertain to staff, personnel matters, or a student issue should be directed to the superintendent or the appropriate staff member of Lewiston Public Schools. Public comments shall be directed to the school committee and be brief, not repetitive, and related to the matter at hand. Before starting, please state your name, address, and affiliation to Lewiston Public Schools.
Matthew D. Agron, Ward 4. So I found either your minutes from February 24th are incorrect, or there's hidden documents from the public. I'd like to think this is an honest mistake, because it's included in this week's packet financial documents, which I'm assuming are what's labeled business documents in the rationale. But there were no business documents from last meeting, nor were they from January 6th or January 13th, which are also been approved. I didn't go back any farther, but I bet I could have. Without the ability, even by watching this video, to be aware of what's in your consent agenda, we, the public, have no clue. If they're not there, you guys voted on a business document that's not there. You guys need to go back and formally amend these minutes for this year. And as you go forward, truly make sure your minutes reflect the subjects that you actually voted on. This is called transparency, people. Please and thank you. Now on to other things. We have many great educators and support staff within the school system who give much to their students. No one's questioning that they give up their time, their own funds to support the kids. Trust me, the people who make a difference in a kid's life, the kids remember. But these members of the school system can't do it alone. They need the parents and guardians to be involved as well. We cannot be the parents of my generation who had to be reminded by a PSA, it's 10 p.m., you know where your children are? Mike honestly thought that that was just a meme from The Simpsons until he actually stumbled over one of the real ads and was shocked it was real. Nope, we need to be fully involved with our kids, knowing who they are off with, where they're going, when they plan on being home, and what they're doing, as well as what's going on with them on social media. These kids are our future. I know I want mine to go forth and have the most successful life they can. I want that for all of them. I can't be the only one on that one, right? Member McLaughlin said the last meeting that maybe we should lay out some goals to see if we're making progress moving things forward. He's not wrong. Bill laid out a 5-year capital improvement plan for the system. I don't see why you guys can't lay out a 5-year educational improvement goals that are measurable for the system. This way we can see if we're moving forward or if we're going down. Thank you very much.
Hey guys, Luke Jensen, Ward 2 resident, current McMahon fourth grade teacher. Just wanted to say thank you guys for considering the proposals that I put forward to you. It does mean quite a bit and they are extremely important. I guess, I know you have executive sessions, so tonight's not the night to really speak on everything in depth or really, I guess even at all. But I just wanted to kind of stress a theme of urgency. I've been in survival mode since November when I first brought these ideas up, and I'm still in survival mode. Most of the new teachers, first years in the district that I talk to are in survival mode. So the system that we have working isn't necessarily your fault. It's been in place for a while. There are a lot of things we can't control. I mean, we're really just a franchise of the state DOE, if we're being real. So there's not a lot of things we can control, but there are some things we could make changed here in the district. And it's going to take a collaborative effort, all of us coming together. So another theme I want to point out for the changes that I'm recommending, I don't really see any individual as being at fault. It's not a personnel issue. If you replaced every single person in the district, myself, all the teachers, all of you guys, every administrator, everyone down to the cafeteria workers, you're going to still have the same problems. It's not a personnel issue. It's not a person issue. It's really the system issue. And I have a good mind for, looking at systems, and having served on the board before here too, I kind of have that perspective as well. So I'm looking at the timing of the budget. It's coming up. I'm just considering myself and my coworkers and how stressed we are, and how some changes should really happen, and how I wish it happened earlier. So I just really want to stress that a change should happen sooner rather than later. And if you guys have any questions beforehand that I can, expand on anything I've sent to you guys, please reach out and let me know. I think there's a lot of work we can do to increase engagement, both by students, by teachers, and by parents. There's a lot of growth we can do as a district here. It's just going to take a lot of collaboration. So again, I don't want this to go to the end of the year and we still have these issues here. I am a teacher and I want to support the biggest budget possible. It's for our kids, but as a Lewiston resident, it's hard to support voting for a budget if I don't see you guys taking any action to actually improve things for our students, for our staff members. Is that fair? Am I being out of line? So please, guys, I don't know what the plan is for the next meeting, but let's get the ball rolling on this stuff. Some of it to me is very doable very quickly. Some of it is not. Some of it makes more sense as an elementary school teacher. I think 3 of my 5 points have more to do with like the high school and middle school level. So that kind of stuff is going to take more collaboration. But I can tell you there are 2 things that are on the list I sent you that if I was on the board, I would be passing them tonight. I'll be perfectly honest with you guys. So thank you for the opportunity. I'm looking forward to working with all of you guys. We're all here because we love our students. We want them to be as successful as possible. And so that's what we're going to do. Thanks.
Thank you, Luke. Are there any other members of the public that would like to speak? Yes, please approach.
I don't know where I'm supposed to look. Okay. Vianney Slamby, Ward 3. Good evening, members of the Lewiston School Committee and educators, parents, and community members. I stand before you today as an immigrant, a former Lewiston High School student, and a professional dedicated to this city. But tonight, I'm here as an advocate for the students in this district who deserve to be seen for their potential, not judged by their backgrounds. I have heard the coded language used when discussing immigrant students, particularly Black, Brown, and Muslim children. Language matters. When we associate these students with violence and disruption, we create a harmful mindset that influences how they are treated in schools and beyond. Bias, whether conscious or unconscious, shapes decisions. If we continue to frame immigrant students as difficult or unable to adapt, they will be scrutinized, more disciplined harshly, and offered fewer opportunities, and that is unacceptable. I understand the stress teachers are under, especially with low pay and growing challenges in the classroom, but frustration should never turn into scapegoating. We can address concerns without vilifying entire groups of students. For those in this room who are Christians, I remind you of Leviticus 19:33-34. When a foreigner resides among you in your lands, do not mistreat them. The foreigner residents among you must be treated as your native born. Love them as yourself, for you were foreigners in Egypt. I am the Lord your God. And beyond scripture, most of us in this country are descendants of immigrants ourselves. This land originally belonged to indigenous people. The United States was built by those seeking refuge, opportunity, and a better life. Thank you, sir, for your service. I saw you today. To deny today's immigrant children the same dignity and opportunities past generations received is not just hypocritical, it is unjust. To immigrant leaders and parents, where are you? I don't see anyone in this room. I'm the only Black person in this room, actually. Thank God I'm not the only woman in this room. So yay me, there's more women in here. So your children need you to advocate for them. Silence allows harmful narratives to persist, like I've been hearing during these meetings. To immigrant youth, I just want to tell you that you are more than the stereotypes placed upon you, coming from someone who also came from war, who saw people die in front of my face. Your struggles do not define you. You were made for more than just survival. You were made to thrive. Finally, I urge this committee to reflect on the responsibility you hold. The way you speak about students, especially immigrant students, matters. No child should feel like an outsider in their own school system. Leadership in education should be about inclusion and not exclusion. Let's assure this board is a space where every student, regardless of race, religion, or background, feels protected, heard, and empowered, because that is the true meaning of America. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any other members of the public that would like to speak? Seeing none, we will move on to agenda item number 5, which is to receive and potentially vote on the field trip request for the Air Force JROTC to attend Maine Maritime Academy Cadet Leadership Challenge.
There you go.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Lieutenant Colonel Mark Wellborn. I'm the Lewiston High School Air Force JROTC instructor. I guess if you need a address, I live in Wiscasset, but hopefully you won't count that against me. We are requesting this field trip to Maine Maritime Academy. We requested this trip last year and it was approved. Unfortunately, due to the choice of Maine Maritime Academy for the weekend that was last year, it was the last weekend of April break. They had less than the number of students from all of the JROTC units that usually go that were going to be there. So they ended up having to cancel. So we missed, once again, a great opportunity. So we're looking forward to it. This is happening in about 2.5 weeks now on the 21st, I believe. And the weekend trip involves a lot of things. It's leadership. It is activities. It's from the minute we get there at approximately 5 p.m. on Friday until the time we leave at about 10:30 on Sunday morning. Their time is packed with a lot of leadership activities run by the ROTC cadets that are in Navy and Marine ROTC at Maine Maritime Academy under the supervision of their captain, who's the officer in charge, and also their gunnery sergeant, who is also in charge of the ROTC cadets. It's a great experience for our students, and we look forward to it. I do have one change to the packet that you have there. It did, typically they have a water event. We do either some water survival in the pool that is beneath the field house. For whatever reason, and I'm not sure why, that is not going to be happening. I don't know if it's a maintenance issue or a personnel issue, but it's not going to be a water event at this particular Leadership Challenge weekend. So I just wanted to make sure you knew about that. If I can answer any questions about the field trip, I'm more than happy to.
Member McLaughlin?
I just have to ask, it mentioned an opportunity to experience a Black Hawk helicopter. What does that entail?
That is, well, I haven't gotten any requests for any kind of release or any kind of liability release for the flight. There is a liability release for the entire weekend, but that is going to be a static display. If it's anything other than a static display, my students and my cadets will treat it as a static display, but there's no flying that is going to be other than with the guard members that are going to be bringing that out. So it's an opportunity for the cadets to climb on and look at the helicopter, talk with the air crew, but it's going to be strictly a static display. So that's a good point, though. I thought the same thing when I saw that as well.
Member Bowden?
Thanks. If there was no one else, I was gonna. Oh, you have a question? Go ahead.
Yes, ma'am.
I was just gonna make the motion.
Your mic.
Do you know the ratio of the male and female
I do
cadets?
not yet because I'm still getting my students after this is, if we are approved, which I'm hopeful of course, then I will be getting the permission slips out and back. I have been getting basically a straw poll, if it were, from my students, but I don't know a specific number. I'm hoping to have between 15 and 20. 25 would be about a third of our core. Right now, if I had that many cadets going, I would have another chaperone, although there are many chaperones that are going to be present at the event. But I don't have a specific number. If I were going to guess, I would probably say it's going to be pretty close to 50-50. Maybe just a few less female cadets than male, but that's probably typical on a lot of our different events. Yes, ma'am.
Member Hurd, did you have a question or no? Okay, Member Bowden.
Yeah, no, this looks great. Looks like a lot of fun. I'm happy to make a motion to approve the field trip for the Leadership Weekend Challenge.
I'll second that.
All in favor? It is unanimous. Have fun.
Thank you very much. And one non-item that from this, I'm retiring at the end of the school year. I don't know if the committee knew that. We already have an NCO that has been hired by the high school to take the NCO position. Unfortunately, can't start until the beginning of the new school year in the fall. But I hope we will have a replacement for myself go through the hiring process before then. But I just want to let you know, it's been a pleasure to serve with and work with the school committee, especially with Mr. Langlis as superintendent and as principal as well. I've enjoyed my time teaching students for the last coming up on 15 years. So again, I'm retiring, but good memories, and hopefully we go out well with the JROTC program and it continues on. Thank you for your support.
Thank you, and congratulations on your retirement.
Thank you.
Agenda item number 6 is to receive and potentially vote on the LPS Administrators Association contracts for 25-26.
So contractually, every year, these have to go before you for approval to move forward. And we've provided you the list of current administrators, and at this time, moving forward with them.
Any questions or comments? Is there a motion? Member Hurd?
I'd like to make a motion to approve the LPS Administrators Association contracts for 2025-2026.
I'll second that.
Any further discussion? All in favor? It is unanimous. Agenda item number 7 is report from the school committee chair. I do not have anything to report on tonight. So 8 is report from the superintendent.
So a few things, as you know, we continue to work on student reps, and I don't know if it's today's times or whatnot, it's getting harder and harder to get them. Karen's done some good work with Emily Shaner at the high school, and we're going to try a bit of a different format. And so while there's not a student rep report out on the agenda tonight, we do have a student rep video from the high school. So we're going to start this process. We just need the kid's voice at the table. So this is a kickoff and open to feedback, but at least want to provide the kids an opportunity to have a voice, and we can get their input on different topics. We can ask them questions and they can respond to them. But I think a lot of our kids who are very actively involved and engaged in just their lives in general as high school students, being here, you know, once, if not twice, sometimes every week or every other week is a big ask. So I'm going to share my screen and show you what one of our students had to say.
Public. My name is Will Diamond Stanek.
I'm going to check the audio. Let me see if I can modify the. Your headphone jack, you should not play out the audio. That side or this side? This side.
Also complicated.
Carefully get in.
Committee and members of the public. My name is Will Diamond Stanek, and I am a junior here at LHS, and this is our first LHS Student Life Update. On Friday, we had the Winter Recognition Assembly, where we celebrated several parts of our school. For sports, we recognized our state champion cheerleaders, the several sports teams that earned statewide sportsmanship awards, and the hockey team for reaching the Class A semifinals. We are wishing the hockey team luck in their semifinal game tomorrow at 8 p.m. in the Cross Insurance Arena. We also saw performances from a few of our student musicians and recognized those student musicians who were selected for the District 2 Music Festival and the State Music Festival. Finally, the student of the semester from each grade was announced and recognized, and we got to watch an exhibition match by our unified basketball team. In other news, our one-act play, Valjean, premiered this weekend. Our drama club will be presenting Valjean on March 8th at the main drama festival at Skowhegan High School. The class of 2026 began selling raffle tickets for their April calendar raffle, and the class of 2025 began their annual Max Popcorn fundraiser. The chess team is competing in their state championship at Hampton Academy on Saturday. Good luck to all LHS teams competing this week. LHS out.
Yeah, so we'll work on the audio. I threw a curveball here at Austin, but I wonder if I have to turn off my microphone as well. I don't separately. But, okay. All right.
Will we be getting updates like that more consistently, or?
So the idea would be that they would try to prepare one for our regular meetings, like they would if they were reporting out. They meet as House of Rep groups every other week. So the idea would be that they would report out anything that they're discussing at their House of Rep meetings, as well as updates such as what you heard with the sporting events and arts and those types of things. And I'm meeting with them as well to look at policies that might be coming up, grading, cell phones, dress code, all the things that we're going to need to be looking at soon and discussing. And they're very interested. They're already having some of those conversations at their House of Rep meetings. So the videos will probably be more of a regular thing. We may see that we have students join us when those particular topics are being discussed. But this was one way to hopefully get their faces in front of you to give you some updates. I'm hoping to work with the middle school to do something similar as well.
Thank you. I like it. It's a lot of the stuff we cover is boring and doesn't really matter to them. So having them here on a school night seems unfair. So I like this as a better way to get some feedback from them. Thank you.
So some other just thoughts or things to share. Certainly, the budget is very much working hard on every single thing that we can. Again, with the goal that we've already shared in prior meetings of coming in as responsible and as conservative as we can, and then work through the process from there. So Wednesday, we'll do kind of an introduction and talk about how to navigate pieces. You'll have your binders available. We'll have some spares available for the public as well. And really, we'll start to dive into things more aggressively on Monday. But Wednesday will be a good recap of here's where we're at. I'll have a memo to share. We're doing our best to get that up and available to people as soon as possible. But information changes pretty quickly these days. So we'll share some of that on Wednesday too, and do our best to get things up and available to people. Also, we've had a number of things that we've worked on kind of offline that have been brought up. One of them being the consent agenda components. And so what's been happening with the consent agenda, if you look at the agenda itself, in the past, for as far back as I can remember, over 15 years, that item has just been what are things that could be in the consent agenda versus what things are actually in the consent agenda. So if any members of the public are wondering, we are shifting that practice on consent agenda items to include only things that are in it and not just the broad spectrum of what could be in there. And if anyone's looking at the public packet, those are all numbered and should be all included. So there have been meetings where the consent agenda is approved by you all and you see and review all of the materials. but it shows categories of things. So for example, like you don't have financials every meeting, but that was on the consent agenda as kind of a broad scope of items that could be there every meeting. So I think that will help a little bit with people's understanding of what's in the consent agenda and what files are associated with it. That's it for me right now.
Thank you. Agenda item number 9 is report from our city council rep.
The city council hasn't met since the last school committee meeting, but we do meet tomorrow evening. And all I have to report is we've got another LCIP workshop and then a few regular business items. It starts at 6 o'clock tomorrow at City Hall.
Thank you. Agenda item number 10 is updates from any subcommittees. Member Bowden?
So we were supposed to start our negotiations with the ed techs last week, but we had to cancel the meeting, so we're not meeting now until this Thursday. So this Thursday we'll meet. And then as far as the finance committee goes, we met tonight before the meeting and got a preview of the budget. I don't really know what else I should say. Phoenix, you want to add anything about that?
Yeah, I mean, I'll just say, you know, there's not really anything that is news at this point at all. You know, we'll be discussing it as a full committee. I think it's just that, you know, they've been working on kind of how to present the information. We went over that. And I do think it'll be more helpful. But yeah, I mean, we're kind of getting into it. I think it's, I guess I can just share an opinion that I think it's in a better place to start than I thought. I was more pessimistic before starting to see how the numbers are coming together, and I think I'm a little more optimistic now. So we'll see if that continues throughout the
agree.
budget process. Yeah,
I would agree.
Have any other subcommittees met? No. Okay, agenda item number 11 is community announcements. Oh, Member Hurd?
Thank you. So facilities hasn't met as a subcommittee yet, but I did email Bill earlier over the weekend because I had a couple members of the public asking about the school speed limit signs and how they're always flashing at random times, and they want to know what the heck is going on and why aren't they working and all the things. It was actually something that we had talked about a couple meetings ago. There are a couple of them that are malfunctioning. They're too old to order parts. There's nothing that we can replace them with. So we have gotten 2 bids for new signs. And right now we're kind of just waiting for the weather to warm up a little bit before we can do anything. So I just thought that would be I'm sure the general public sees those going off at, 6 o'clock on a Sunday and like, what the heck is going on? And I don't think we updated that on the last time. I think I missed the meeting where we had a facilities update, but I just wanted to let everybody know.
Thank you. Agenda item number 11 is community announcements. Did you want to do that or you want me to?
Yeah, no, I don't mind. So I do want to announce, and honestly, our student rep there just announced quite a bit, but I don't know how well the audio received. So a few things that I heard him say was a chess meet for our school on championship on Saturday. I know that the boys hockey team is going into the semifinals. Their game is tomorrow night at 8 p.m. at the Cross Insurance Arena. If you can come, please come support the boys. It's kind of a big deal. And then I had someone reach out to let me know that the LHS Drama Club, called the Center Stage Ensemble, is traveling to Skowhegan High School on March 7th and 8th for the 2025 regionals of the Maine Drama Festival. They'll be performing, how do you pronounce that, Megan? Valjean. I wanted to say that correctly because that's not how I would pronounce it. Students have been involved in every aspect, perfecting the costumes, sound, lighting, and set as a part of the competition. Lewiston will be performing on Saturday. It's a timed performance with specific rules on how much time is allowed to put the set on stage, perform the show, and then remove the set. There'll be 7 regional festivals around the state, and it's all happening this weekend. So best of luck to the Center Stage Ensemble.
Thank you. And following up on that, they will be doing a local production of Valjean it's going to be at LA Arts on April 5th at 5:30, and tickets are available to the public. So if anyone local wants to see their full presentation, it will be April 5th at 5:30 at LA Arts here in Lewiston. Are there any other community announcements? Nope. Agenda item number 12 is future agenda items. No, okay. Agenda item number 13 is to enter into executive session. Oh, I'm sorry, go ahead.
It's not one, it's just reminding you about Luke Jensen's list.
Yes. Sorry. Agenda item number 13 is to enter into executive session to conduct student A disciplinary hearing, Title 20A 10019 and Title 14056B.
So moved.
Second.
I will.
All in favor? The school committee's in